and sparkle. We promise to always be here. This is Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. I am Henry Igwibike.
And I'm Chioma Okohe.
All right, so we'll be going to our newspaper headlines to see all that we have for you this morning. And right after that, in the jiffy, would be our main conversation also for today, while we get everything all produced for you. Please do well to be part of our community. Have a say in what we say. We are at enterprisetvnews.com, and also like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. With us today in the studios to do justice to all that we have, newspaper headlines, and possibly take us on our main conversation today, Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, a barrister at law and a public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Barrister.
Good morning, Barrister.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for giving us your time. And let's kickstart our newspaper headlines today. Choma, what do we have?
Yeah, we have, starting with the Daily Trust newspaper, and on the top strip, Emir Sanusi proffers solutions to Fulani crisis in Nigeria.
And also we have on the top strip of the same newspaper, Shatima Atiku Barau Obi orders strong Katsina for Yad Adwa's mother's burial.
Yeah, moving on, Nigeria, China sign MOUs as Tinubu meets Xi Jinping in China.
And also the big story here, NLC Nasima orders demand petrol price hike reversal.
Okay.
And then, interestingly, just below the daily here, we have a Yobe barrister for victims of ISWAP attack, and that's what we'll be dwelling on today on Daily Trust newspaper. Barrister Tunji Abdul Hamid. Here we have it again. 34 victims have been killed by ISWAP or Boko Haram insurgents in Yobe, and they were killed on Sunday. I guess they were buried Tuesday. Also. According to the details making rounds on the Daily Trust newspaper. But particularly I'm asking this question when the Nigerian police are busy chasing after Wayne, a British national. Insurgents are doing more worse to harm on Nigerians and the country itself. Tell us, does this really make sense in any way?
Have you forgotten that Nigerian police is no longer care for our internal security? They are only majorly concerned about the Yahoo boys, the people who are on social media,
cybercrime and all,
trying to ask questions about the government's accountability, the protesters, and so they are now concerned about that. And that's why you see whenever there is any crisis anywhere, those that the government will call upon to come and act are the military. So they've been relegated to the background, and they've accepted that their role now is to just look for Yahoo boys, look for the protesters, look for those who sell books in the name of terrorism. You see, so it's unfortunate that our security is lacking, and the government has failed in that regard, as far as I'm concerned. The failure of the government to protect citizen is a failure of government, and we have been doing the same thing the same way and expecting a different result. Innocent people, innocent life have been taken every day, every time, and nothing is being done. The same attitude is what the government is bringing in. Just come and read the speech and express their condolences and whatever, and that will be all. Nothing else will be done to prevent a further attack or in the future. So you can't be doing the same thing the same way and expect a different results.
Okay, Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, thank you for that submission. But let's get back into Yobe State, because you are actually saying that our security personnel have actually gone under the carpet or be thrown under the bus, and they don't want to do anything about it. Now, moving on, but I believe they owe Nigerians a lot, and it's a government for the people, by the people, and of the people, if we're in the democratic rule. Now, in Yobe State, multiple sources believe, I'm actually quoting, that the attack was retaliatory, linked to the community's refusal to continue paying levies to the militants. And because one of the persons, or one of the members of the community that was able to escape, said they have been paying under duress. And let's feel that, okay, let's just say the security personnel don't know what to do. But there should be enough evidence or enough room for them to, a leading track for them to actually get these militants, because they are paying a particular amount of money every month because they believe this attack is a retaliatory attack. Can't they use this as a ploy to get them? Who are this money being paid to? The militants. Because as of yesterday, the governor of Yobe State was there to actually bury 34 officially, though others were buried in different parts, but still in Yobe State.
This claim of people paying tax to bandit, terrorists, or whatever is not new. It's been there all along. It's been for long. People have been saying it. But government is trying to deny it, trying to say, look, no community, no whatever is under the control of any bandit is all that. They are trying to weigh it down. But people have been saying it, that we pay to go to our farm. We pay to sleep in our houses. We pay to move around in our community. It's been like that. And the government it appears the government has given up. So we don't have the capacity to deal with these people. And then they leave the people to their own, life, and see whatever they can do. And then, so the government is not concerned. If you see, particularly this particular government, their concern is just about economic activities, where money will come in. Any other aspect of Nigerian life, they tend to not to be concerned about it. If all we are talking today has to do with money going down the drain, you see the president will have be back. You see when the acting CJN was to be sworn in, the president flew back into the country, and then he came to. We are talking about crisis, major crisis in the country. The president is somewhere looking for investor in a country where there is crisis. Which investor will come to that kind of a country?
He said he's a performer. That was his statement.
Who is a performer?
Our president said that.
In his own field. You see, a student don't mark his own results. The teacher will mark it, and our examiners will be the one to mark it. The mark, as far as I'm concerned, in Nigeria, if we were to look at the generality, even the environment, I can even the parents say that. The parents that acknowledge that there's hardship in the land, and the hardship, and that we should give them time, that everything will be normal, and we're not seeing anything coming to normal. So for me, that is president. He has the right to praise himself. He has the right to. But we also have the right to either believe him or agree with him as to whether or not he's saying the right thing. As far as I'm concerned, the president is not deceiving himself. And until we have those in government tell themselves the truth, that things are not working, that is when we're going to get a result. And that is the problem why we are not getting results. Because those in government don't tell themselves the truth. They are always believing that they are doing well. And what they are doing is the best. Because they see themselves as the alpha and omega, that they are all knowing. Whatever they do, whatever they are doing is the best solution to our country. Even though when those who are supposed to feel the impact are not feeling it positively, they still believe they are doing well. So for me, the issue of people taxing people to pay money or this and that is not a news any longer. It's been taken to be a normal way of life, particularly in the other part of the country.
But is it enough reason for them to now attack the village?
No, there is no intel in that regard. The intel only comes when there is a protest. And the intel will only come when the people are asking questions about government. That's when they will get the right information about those who are committing crime. They'll be able to trace them. Even their accounts will be able to trace. These people cannot be traced. And that's why you see a bandit, a suspected bandit, who's been whose government has been declared wanted, will be doing a ceremony, and the police will be at the ceremony as well to ensure that security is provided in that ceremony.
All right. Let's move on to the Guardian newspaper for today. The big story here says confusion over new pump price as Dangote Petrol sets the fall market. Okay,
moving on. Court sends whistleblowers to Kuje over classified documents list.
And also PDP governors fault Wike's fire threat. And
2027, Obi unveils Tanko as coordinator of Obedient Movement.
All right, so let's get into this. But particularly, Nigeria is now third most indebted nation to World Bank IDAs with a $2.2 billion loan. Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, you are a card-carrying member of the PDP. Help us bring us up to speed on this. PDP governors fault Wike's fire threat.
What they did is the right thing. It's a response to the ranting of a minister of the FCT regarding his claim that he will put fire in the house of in the seats of the governors that are not supporting his stand in Rivers State.
But what gives him that temerity?
Because he sees himself as Alpha and Omega. He sees himself as a semi-god. He believes he can do and undo. He believes he creates everybody, and then he believes he's the owner of the party.
But
and then he sees himself as the owner of the party, and then everybody must bow to him, and everybody must support whatever he is looking for.
Okay, Barrister Tunji, sorry to cut you short, but if we go down memory lane, looking at how far PDP have come, there are times when a lot of them actually left PDP, and Wike was one of the founding, should I use the word founding fathers? One of them he was one of those that actually stood to actually build and grow PDP.
No, I will not agree with that.
You won't agree?
PK cannot be said to be a founding father. Where was Minister Wike when the party was being founded? He just left law school.
He left law school, yes.
And
but
he was not working. And he was made a chairman of that local government.
At some point,
the founding fathers know themselves. Atiku and Co are the founding fathers. They use their personal money to build the party.
But at some point, when they were not
listen. I agree with you, and that's why people are listening. Other people when they talk about Wike singularly, all the party with what? With whose money? With which opportunity? When you work in a place, or when you have an opportunity, you have been given opportunities to you have been accommodated by somebody for free for years. And you have been given, and while you are being accommodated, you are able to achieve certain successes, and you have money. And the person who accommodated you is not able to pay rent again. You now start to assist in paying the rent. You now say you are the one that bid him. Is that correct? He just gave back to the party that gave him the opportunity to become what he was or what he is today. So what he did is not something that any other person didn't do. He may do higher than other people. It's not only him. Other people were sponsoring the party at those times too, and that was why he was even repaid for what he did, because that was why he was given the opportunity to ensure that the last 4 or so chairmen of the party were nominated by him. That is to compensate him. That is to appreciate that, look, you also did this. But that does not mean you are the owner of the party. It's like me innovating my family house. A family house is a family house. No matter what development I did in it, it's still a family house. It's not your home. So whatever you have done does not mean when you have built a house and then the thing is not working well, that you should go and say, I want to destroy it. I want to demolish it. It's playing a game. It's about politics. So don't forget about Wike. And he's playing a game. And it's not as if yes, I know it will be unfair to single out Minister Wike for punishment when it comes to anti-party activities. Because there are other people who joined him when those things were being done. So, and you see in the politics, you look for number. You don't look for reduction. You don't look for more member. Don't look for how to reduce your numbers. And that's why people are being careful to say,
have to tread on that.
Yes, it's a very delicate issue. It's not that easy.
All right, so let's take a look at this. You are a barrister yourself. I'd love you to maybe speak on this. We have a whistle-blowing policy in Nigeria, but in contrast, actually, we have court sending a whistleblower to Kuje over classified documents leak, and that particular classified document is surrounding the Nigerian police. A particular document that was a stay of the police was leaked and all that. So help us make sense. Why do you think we are having this this conflict of interest, encouraging people to leak anti-corruption and at the same time sending such people to?
If I get you correctly, because I've not read that report very well, you said the information has to do with a document, a document regarding the extension of the tenure of the. What do you say?
Yes, I think it's still sketchy, but it's around the Nigerian police actually.
If it's not about corruption, if it's not about corruption, that person has not done well.
So you are saying if it's not
about corruption, if it's about they are preparing to build out the policy or to try to do certain thing, and you now expose it, that will not come in purview of the what's it called, whistleblowing that is recognized. That is recognized. The whistleblowing that I know that they were promoting was a situation whereby if you can expose somebody who was stealing, who tried to use his position to enrich himself by stealing our commonwealth, and you now expose that kind of person, that is a kind of a whistleblowing they ask you to do. Not to say, look, we are bringing out this policy, the government is preparing this policy, or our ministry is preparing to bring out this policy. That is no longer within the realm of that whistleblowing. If that is the case,
So let's just give a very simple example, just a very sketchy, simple example. Egbetoku is supposed to retire by September or so, and he's been extended for 3 years, and possibly there were things that went on the ground that people knew about, and such persons brought it out to the open domain. Would that be equally said
if
to
those
the
things
whistleblower?
has nothing to do with corruption?
Okay.
For me, as far as I'm concerned, I stand to be corrected. It is not within the realm of whistleblowing that is recognized under our law. Like I said, the whistleblowing that's been promoted has to do with corruption. Somebody trying to use his position to steal money, or somebody who has tried to take a kickback when it comes to contracts, still of such nature. But it has to do with program of the government, policies of the government that's been proposed, that are planning, and you have the opportunity to become aware of it, and you now expose it out. You cannot be said to be doing whistleblowing. That, in fact, it's a wrong adjective to say whistleblower. It's not a whistleblower, as far as I'm concerned. If that is the position, but if that's not the position, if you have about corruption, exposing corruption, that will not be fair on him, and that will discourage people who want to give information regarding corruption in this country.
All right, very well said. We'll have to say thank you to Barrister Tunji Abdul Hamid for your time. And just to promise you, he will be here to take us on our main conversation. Also joining us virtually will be Hassan Soweto and Great Imo. Yes.
Okay, and when we return, whose report do we believe? The NNPC will have us believe they have yet to increase the pump price of petrol. But across their outlets, a litre of fuel is selling for as high as 890 naira per litre. Let's dig into this in a bit.
Please don't go anywhere.